Thank you, Chair. I did send through an email. I may have missed the deadline by a matter of minutes, because I noticed I've had no response, but I sent an email asking whether we as a group can direct our CEO in relation to enterprise bargaining. And if you remember in that, I surfaced that the CEO called a meeting and asked us to give him some direction when he was about to go into the EB negotiations. And he particularly asked us for our views on a wage freeze and a clause that might allow for I haven't finished. I was just being interrupted by you two. I was just waiting till you'd finished, that was all. Can I continue now? And the CEO also asked whether we could give advice as to whether he should include a stand-down clause. We had quite a long debate. So that said to me, obviously we can, as a board, give direction to the CEO. So my question to you, Chair, via the email was, can we do that? How can we do that? In the interests of taking out of the EB some of the sticking points.
CEO, please answer that for us.
The answer to that is no, you don't have any involvement in the EB process. It wasn't a meeting, it was a workshop, an informal workshop that we had. I sought to have that workshop to have a conversation with elected members, gauge some thoughts. I wasn't seeking direction, I wasn't seeking a decision, and so no, the elected members do not have any involvement in the EB process.
Follow-up question then. If the CEO is our employee and we can see some glaring problems that persist with the EB, and given that the CEO has invited our input through a workshop, then what way can we offer input into it in the interest of trying to get the EB satisfactorily resolved, as it's been outstanding since I think 2018?
Again, it's not for the elected members to concern themselves with those matters. It's in hand. There's actually been a newly formed staff representative body. There's been a changeover in that regard. A meeting was had with that new group today, and those conversations are constructive, so you can just leave it with me.
And I'll include the CEO, the Manager for Finance, the Minute Taker, and Mr. Matt Hobby, Consultant Perks People Solutions, in that officer's recommendation. If I can speak, is that okay?
Thank you. And seconded by Councillor Hughes. Yep.
So I think it's really important that we discuss this matter in confidence. It is about the personal affairs, particularly around the CEO. We are able to do that under Section 83(5) and 84(6) of the Local Government Act, and also under Section 93 on the grounds that it relates to information, the disclosure of which would involve the unreasonable disclosure of information concerning the personal affairs of any person living or dead. So on that basis, I recommend this motion.
Yes, I think it's very appropriate that we discuss this in confidence. As Councillor Tooley's already said, the CEO is actually our only employee that we direct or have interaction with legally under the Local Government Act. This is his performance appraisal process. It's a formal process, but we also go through the documentation, and we're quite rigorous in that process. And I think it's important that at this stage we discuss it in confidence, and later on the reports and things like that or the actual motions are released, and any pay rises or any changes or no changes, that's always documented and is available to anyone to see and published as well. So our findings always come out, but I think it's very important for us to have this discussion in confidence.
First of all, a question through you, Chair. I understood that, and it says that Mr. Hobby was going to be attending via Zoom to assist in answering questions and providing clarification. I believe he could do that if he was given the opportunity where we could ask questions, but I don't understand why he would need to remain for the whole of the confidential meeting, which is meant to be open, robust. We are, after all, making one of the most important decisions that we possibly can make. That's my question. Why would Mr. Hobby need to remain for the meeting? No, I thank you for your answer. I respect your answer. I don't agree with it, but that's your right to make that decision. The reason I'll speak against is to be consistent. I've always argued that these should be in public. As Councillor Hughes said, the one person on the council where there has to be transparency regarding his remuneration, his performance reviews, all of those things, they can be found posted on the website. And it's because of the role of the CEO. It's part of the legislation that information is made public. There is a great public interest in the role of the CEO, key, foundational to the organisation. And that's why I believe that the public, we should hold this in public camera. There should be nothing that's embarrassing. We may ask some rigorous questions, but we have to do that. That's our job. We are acting as a board. And in that sense, I would argue that we should be very public with that.